Welcome back. Doing more reactions today. I am looking at the solar Scorcher that Grant built. And remember, he took a Fresnel lens out of a projection TV and did some really cool stuff with that. I haven't seen this video in years. I want to dive back into it because I have some projects that I'm thinking about. They could potentially use this. So let's hit it.
If a small magnifying glass will burn things with sunlight, how much power could you get from a lens as big as you? In this project, we're hacking open a rear projection TV because that's where you can find one of these amazing solar Scorchers for free.
Dude, that instantly started smoking.
To get started, the first thing I'm going to do is log online to my local classifieds and search for a free big screen TV. These TVs are way outdated and usually cost more to repair than they're worth.
Grant was so good at finding so many things for just insanely cheap or free to be able to bring these projects to you guys. That's definitely something I want to do, but man, he was just a master at it.
So loads of people are trying to get rid of them. I can already see one here. It's a 50-inch Toshiba, and it looks like it's about 13 years old. Everything works except the color, and that's okay because I don't really intend to watch TV with it. These TVs are humongous and very heavy.
That is
so
true.
I'm going to need a truck and a little help. Now here's my brother with his truck. He's going to help me out today. It's about lunchtime, and he's on his break. We've just arrived at this lady's house and stepped inside to thank her for donating her free TV. The price was certainly right, and I'm a happy customer. Now you gotta watch out. These TVs could be a couple £100, so I don't recommend lifting them on your own. Luckily, this TV has rollers, so we'll roll it over to the truck and load it with the screen facing up. We don't really care too much about the condition this travels in, as long as the screen is protected. Now it's time to head back home and start hacking this TV apart. I'll unload the TV from the back of the truck. It's very heavy, and unfortunately, my brother's back at work, so I'm unloading it by myself. But it's down now. There's some success.
Oh my gosh.
The TV is now in my backyard.
I'm so glad he got that out without injuring himself. There were a lot of injuries he sustained that you never see on the channel. But the guy was a champion.
And I can get to work. First thing I'm going to do is remove this speaker guard to expose the speakers. And I can take these and remove them for a future project. These are 8-ohm speakers, and I'm sure I can find a good use for them. Now just above the speakers, I found a couple of tabs holding the screen in place. After removing the 2 screws on each side, the screen lifts straight up and pops off, exposing the inside of the TV. You can see at the bottom the red, green, and blue.
So when you see him take things like this apart, it's like, wow, he just knows so much. He knows that the screen lifts up, and he knows exactly the ohms of the speakers. There was so much trial and error and so much study and so much that went into this, and then he puts it all into this amazing package to bring you these videos that were just so cool and so accessible. Yeah, just a master of the craft to watch him work.
Cathode ray tubes with their respective lens casings, as well as a nice big mirror. Now since this mirror is used for projection, it's super reflective, so I'm going to remove the screws holding that in place and save it for a different project. This TV screen has 3 separate layers. It's hard to see, but the front layer is a large piece of plexiglass that could be useful. The middle layer is a vertical lined plastic, and this back piece is a giant virgin Fresnel lens. This is the piece that I'm after.
I really feel like I need a bunch of these TVs now. There's like so much cool stuff in there that we can use.
I got lucky because this one happens to be a crystal clear lens that focuses to a point. And that's the best that I know of. It may not look like much, but this is a giant 4-foot magnifying lens. The amount of energy these lenses can generate is outstanding, producing temperatures over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. They can be used for heating, cooking, purifying water, and burning almost anything that you can imagine. Amazingly, they do all that just off sunlight.
Wow.
Now that I got...
So that was melted aluminum, so we know that aluminum melts at 1220 degrees, and so it was able to focus all of that solar power into that point and bring that metal up to at least 1220 degrees. And with how liquid it was probably significantly hotter.
The lens I was after, I'm going to play around with some of these other pieces on the TV. These projection lenses, the caster wheels, and the power cord can all be saved. And just for fun, I'm going to take one of these lens cases and hack it open to see what's inside. I'm going to save these nuts and bolts, then cut down the side of the casing here. And when it's cracked open, you can see about 5 different optical lenses. Now these are really neat because they're in perfect condition, and I may be able to use them in future light experiments. Most of them are plastic, but this focusing lens right here is pure glass. It's quite heavy, and the optics on it are amazing. If I focus it on my table as if I'm trying to burn the table, you can see it brings into focus the compact fluorescent lights that I'm using to light
That's
the room.
awesome.
I thought that was kind of interesting. Okay, I've got the giant Fresnel lens separated from the frame now. You can see it's quite flimsy and awkward to hold. So I think I'm going to need to build some kind of a frame
There we
so
go.
I can use it hands-free. Look for that in a different project. Well, there you have it. Now you know the secret to finding a giant Fresnel lens absolutely free. Now, a word of caution. These lenses generate a lot of power. They can concentrate the sun to a point that gets dangerously hot. It'll start fires instantly, melt concrete, and can certainly cook you. So please be careful. That's it for now. If you like this project, perhaps you'll like some of my others. Check them out at thekingofrandom.com.
That was amazing. Melted concrete. I actually don't even know what temperature concrete melts at, but I feel like I need to know that now. I feel like I need to see that now. I want to melt some asphalt because that's got a lot of tar and some other substances in it that, well, probably is not very safe, but I want to do it anyway. What would you like to see melted with a solar scorcher? Like, how could we play with this to make it into another fun video, another fun project that we can bring back to you? So be thinking about that. Let me know in the comments, and remember, let the random happen.